My name is Morgan Benner, and I'm a graduate student in the Counseling Psychology doctoral program here at Lehigh, as well as a member of the Resistance Lab, a research laboratory directed by Dr. Nicole Johnson. Our lab was founded on the idea that you can end gender-based violence through feminist consciousness raising, high-quality research, and empirically supported programming. I'm glad to be joining you via video. I'm going to briefly tell you about many ways that each person as an individual can work to dispel the culture that normalizes gender-based violence. On the screen right now, you can see an image that may be familiar to you. It's called the Rape Culture Pyramid, created as an infographic by 11th Principle, Consent. It lays out how levels of gender-based violence that we might personally perceive as explicit violence, like sexual assault and intimate partner violence, are sustained and perpetuated by acts lower on the pyramid, like removal of bodily autonomy, degradation, and normalization of misogyny. This pyramid can help us understand how more common acts like rape jokes, sexist attitudes, and victim blaming promote the acts higher on the pyramid, which are comparatively more rare. All of these acts on the pyramid contribute to a culture that allows and endorses the abuse of vulnerable people. However, as there are acts that reinforce rape culture, there are also acts that can disrupt it. What I'm going to show you now is a similar infographic adapted from the first by my colleague Claire Siepser. You should see a similar pyramid, but this is a disrupting rape culture pyramid. It outlines just some of the ways that we as individuals and as a community can resist rape culture. You likely are familiar with bystander interventions, which can teach us to disrupt possible situations of sexual violence that you may see in real life. However, there are other ways that you can act as a bystander in more common situations, like by interrupting and not endorsing, either verbally or with your silent permittance, rape jokes, objectification, and locker room banter, among other acts. I acknowledge that it can be intimidating to confront peers and friends who are expressing sexist beliefs or making jokes about gender-based violence for fear of backlash. However, you have more influence on your peers than you think. Kindly saying, "That's not really funny," or "I don't feel comfortable with this conversation," can make it a gentle way to discourage the normalization of these acts. Higher on the pyramid, you can challenge degradation by educating yourself and your community, as you are now, about it. To combat the removal of autonomy, you can value enthusiastic sexual consent and your partner's sexual experience and pleasure. And on the top of the pyramid, you can disrupt explicit violence, which acknowledge the importance of and raise funds for violence prevention, as well as by intervening as a bystander. These are just some examples of how you personally can fight rape culture. We can all work in our daily lives to interrupt rape culture, and the more that we do so, the more we can empower others to do the same. Thanks for joining me for this video. If you're interested in the research that we at the Resistance Lab do to fight gender-based violence, you can find our lab website at wordpress.lehigh.edu/theresistance. Thank you.